Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I decided to go to one of my favorite local little coffee shops, but I didn't realize how loud it was going to be. So, got my earbuds in to try to help with that. So, good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful morning. Hope it's beautiful wherever you are. I hope you can hear. Goodness, there is all kinds of traffic today. So, I'm going to jump on in. Maybe talk a little slow, give some folks some time to jump in with us. Good morning, how are you doing? Hi, friends. How are y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I was thinking on the way over here today that I don't even know what Friday this is. This is either 5 or 6 with us having coffee together. So that's a lot. Got a lot going on, so I hope everybody's doing well. I hope things are starting to work out for you, and it looks like they're starting to open our states back up. Thank God. Good things ahead. I was thinking on the drive over here about some stuff that came up last week about the acclimating and depressurizing, about all of the, it's a busy road back there. But I was thinking about all of that on the way over here today. And last week I had a couple people contact me talking about how that made so much sense with what they're dealing with. So I was talking about if you've been feeling a little physically off, a little physically weird, it could be because of the acclimating to a new place, to a new level. That's where we are. You know, we're headed to a new place altogether. And so some of the physical trials you may have, particularly really strange ones over the last couple of weeks, might be that for what God's doing. But good morning, everybody. I'm sorry to interrupt, but can y'all hear me okay? Because I can get in my car if you can't hear me okay. It's really loud around here. Had no idea there'd be this much traffic. Sorry for having to jump into that like that. Think we're doing good? Hear me okay out there? Okay. Well, if you tell me you can't hear me, I'm going to go jump in my car, but otherwise I'm going to keep going. Welcome aboard, everybody. Okay, good. I was just saying that, talking about last week with the acclimating, with the depressurizing, that may be what you've been feeling physically. If you've been feeling maybe some crazy dizziness or some weird symptoms out of nowhere, we cannot discount the time we're in. We cannot discount what God is doing. We just can't, because He's taken us to a new level and a new place that our bodies haven't been to. So they're not just going to be automatically like, oh yeah, let's do this now. There might be some moments of, what's going on here? This is different, and I don't really know how to navigate this. And I was thinking about that all the way over here to one of my favorite little coffee shops, who has a social distancing area right now. Thank the Lord. But last week I had like several people contact me and say, oh my goodness, I'm right there with you. That made so much sense. You know, I've been dealing with these things. I've been feeling weird, and this makes so much sense, because not only have been people feeling weird, the people are very aware something's going on besides what we're hearing on the news, besides this flu thing. People are aware there's something much deeper going on. So for us to be able to grab hold of that's going to bring some peace and relief, because this flu and everything is surface. That's all surface. But what God is doing is so much deeper. And so he's pulling junk up. And when junk comes up, it doesn't usually do it in a nice way. It doesn't usually do it in this sweet little Christian way. It usually comes up fighting and screaming. So I think we've been dealing with a lot of that. But good morning, everybody. Good morning. And we've been dealing with a lot of this deep darkness that's screaming its head off because it doesn't want to be exposed. So acclimating and depressurizing, it's unusual for our bodies. And like I said, I talked to a couple people that were like, yes, that's what I'm feeling. This makes sense. And then I had one friend in particular that we got on the phone after last week. My buddy Leah and I were talking about how, if you've ever been to the mountains, I don't know if you've ever, especially if you're here from Flatland, Texas, if you've ever gone up to the mountains, that is a whole different world. And how there's something called altitude sickness. And if you don't give yourself a minute to acclimate and give your body some time to get ready for that altitude, you could get really sick and hurt yourself. And because I remember one time going to, what was it? Not Colorado. I've been to Colorado. Where was it? Steamboat Springs, Colorado, which is a super, super high point in our nation. And my friend and I wanted to go on a hike. And so she'd already kind of warned me about it. I'm not kidding you. I think we were 5 minutes into this hike, and if somebody would not have warned me that I needed to acclimate on the way up this mountain, it would have freaked me out, because we literally had to pull off to the side of the hike trail and breathe. I mean, I was huffing and puffing. It was freaky, because I thought, wait a minute, it's like this 5 minutes should not have me this winded, but it did, because it was a new elevation. So just know, this transition we're in, what God is doing right now is not overnight, even though I think a lot of us would prefer that. I would prefer that. But acclimating takes some time. It takes some time as you walk along, as you acclimate, as you go higher and you go higher and you go higher. Your body will acclimate to those levels, but you have to give it that time. Because without acclimation, you could do damage. And goodness, sometimes thoughts hit you like that in the moment, and that really excites me, because think about that with what we're talking about, with where God is taking us. If we don't take time to acclimate, we could do damage not only to ourselves but to others, because the acclimation we're talking about is new understanding. It's a new enlightenment of the kingdom of God. It's a new level of the kingdom of God. And if we don't acclimate to that, we could do damage all across the board. Ooh, I didn't know I was going there today. I might need to get saved again. Gracious. Okay. So that's a lot of the weirdness. And then this conversation I was having with my friend Leah, I loved it, because we were talking about this altitude sickness, talking about what you have to do when you're going up a mountain. And I loved it because her perspective was, she said, Melissa, I don't think we're headed into a norm. I think we're headed into a new reality. Say that. And man, when she said that, it smacked me in my face, and I thought, oh my God, that's what this is. Because I don't know about you, but I've kind of cringed saying normal. We don't want to go back to the normal we had before this started. That's okay, but I kind of cringed having to use the term new normal. It just sounds too normal. And so when she said a new reality, that I can get really excited about. And let me check out the definitions. Check out this definition for normal. Conforming to the standard or common type, usual. Check out the definition for reality. Something that exists independently of ideas concerning it. Something that exists independently of all other things, and from which all other things derive. That excites me. You hit it on the head, Leah, with that one. Something that exists independently of all other things, and from which all other things derive. We're headed into a new reality. Not another normal. Not another normal of apocalyptic pandemic. We're headed into a normal we're headed into a reality that none of us have seen, because the Lord is using oppression to deliver us from oppression that's been around so long that oppression became our normal. So now we are moving from a normal lifestyle under oppression to a reality above the oppression that we've never seen. And we are in the transition of acclimating to that new reality. Golly. Okay, so there's that. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go think about that this week, so I'm not going to keep y'all any longer, because I gotta think about all that, because I'm all in. I'm all in. I ain't got a problem with any of it. I am all in. I'm so excited. I love you guys. Thank you for joining. We're headed into a new reality, y'all. This is exciting. Love you. Have a wonderful weekend. We're still in quarantine. I'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.